Things are the same but different. My managed wellness video is coming true. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. If you're happy about the United States election results, take it with a grain of salt. If you're sad about the United States election results, remember, politics is the entertainment division of industry. There's a civil war in store for the United States no matter what. And this outcome appears written by HBO-level showrunners. And if it had come out the other way, the civil war might be much harder to control. Anyway, everything I talk about in my managed wellness video is now happening in a more overt way. I myself was kind of puzzled by the previous administration's lack of acknowledgement of cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. So everything I'm talking about in my managed wellness video, it's now going to be the thing happening right under your nose, the secret outcomes being smuggled in, packaged as a thing that you want. Instead of imposing restrictions upon you, we instead take your organic produce, your regenerative agriculture, and smuggle things into it that are the same things that were being imposed upon you previously. Politics is the entertainment division. It's been very entertaining so far. This week is the full moon in Taurus, with Saturn stationing direct. Monday, Venus moves into Capricorn. The quality and pace of pleasure will slow down and become more practical, more committed. There's a joy in fulfilling responsibilities, putting your nose to the grindstone, doing the work, and making and attending to the connections necessary to get the job done or to keep the system or commitment well-oiled. Venus will be in Capricorn until December 6th, after which the focus will shift harshly to the Leo-Aquarius axis. Also, there hasn't been any tech news lately. I've taken a break from the tech news. I'm changing the way that I'm doing things slightly. The tech news isn't going away. Also, I'm putting together a year in tech news compilation to tide you over until the new version of my tech news presentation starts up. Most of Monday is the moon making contact with the outer planets, including Pluto in Capricorn, which Venus has joined. The Capricorn area of your life on Monday is emphasized, perhaps marked by the element of surprise, with the moon making a sextile to Uranus, and romanticized with the moon conjoining Neptune. You can allow yourself to get swept up on this wave. Just know what it is. At night, the moon moves into Aries, and then the moon squares Venus, freshly ingressed into Capricorn. So go to bed early, but you might not be able to sleep, so then you'll get back up. If you're awake late Monday night, try to have some vigorous fun. Try not to get in trouble having drinks with clients. And watch your mouth. Early Tuesday morning, the moon trines Mars in Leo, while Mercury, in detriment in Sagittarius, makes a square with Saturn in Pisces. So those two transits apply to Monday night. Again, watch your mouth. Vigorous fun. Don't get carried away. Mercury is also in shadow, and I find that the shadow period is often more glitchy for me. It depends on your personal relationship with Mercury, how that works in your chart. Anyway, the shadow period is often more glitchy for me than the actual retrograde. So any slip-ups, any misinformation Monday night might have something to do with the hilarity that ensues the next few weeks. So all that applies to Monday. But the Mercury-Saturn square and the Mars-Moon trine technically happen on early Tuesday morning. When planets aspect each other, I've noticed that each planet gets a little bit of the flavor of the other planet's sign placement. So this is Mercury in detriment, getting a taste of the sign of its fall, Pisces, and Saturn in Jupiter's sign, getting another taste of the other sign that belongs to Jupiter, Sagittarius. I'm saying this mostly to emphasize Mercury. Like, the facts might not all be there, the details might be missing. It's better for something romantic and adventurous. However, Saturn is stationing direct this week, so Saturn is emphasized. When planets station, their significations are intensified. So Saturn might be a little heavy-handed. The consequences of whatever happens Monday, if it involves information, delivery, travel, some form of conveyance, might be a little heavy-handed. And that might launch you into some misunderstanding or something that kicks off the cascade of failures, potentially, over the next few weeks. At night on Tuesday, the moon in Aries trines Mercury in Sagittarius. So something might be ameliorated, smoothed over Tuesday night. Also, even though it's like not a great time for communication, Tuesday night is a better time for communication than Tuesday morning. So if you must have a difficult or complicated conversation on Tuesday, try to make it at night. It's like a good time for communication within a larger bad time for communication. Your potential success on Tuesday could also be bolstered by the fact that the moon is sextile with Jupiter in Gemini early Wednesday morning, which applies to Tuesday night. There is this like swirl of communication, enthusiasm, heavy-handed disapproval, or maybe there's just some heavy lifting you need to do in terms of communication or delivery that's extra hard right now in terms of hammering all the details out. So one rule of thumb is like, maybe it's not going to be perfect, but just get it done. Wednesday is a dear friend's birthday. Happy birthday. So Wednesday, if you wake up early, you could be rewarded. The moon sextiles Jupiter, so early morning on Wednesday is marked by levity, maybe a little too much, maybe a little all over the place. The rest of the day becomes more and more material, more and more earthbound. The moon is just applying to a square with Pluto all day on Wednesday, so underhandedness. The moon, who wants to strike out and prove itself, blast through the wall like the Kool-Aid man, is undermined by whatever Pluto is dealing in, which you might never even know what it is. You may never know how you were undermined. That's a part of Pluto. And it could be yourself, your subconscious. If the moon represents our emotional attunement, Pluto squaring that could be something is within you that you're not even aware of. But it could just as easily be something else. Look at the Capricorn part of your chart and look at the Aries part of your chart. It could also be just like some gut-wrenching empowerment if you've been in the trenches for a while. Again, this is Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is about to move back into Aquarius forever in our human lifetimes. So it's one last reckoning with the past. To last aspect of the moon with Pluto in Capricorn in our lifetimes. Also at night, the moon moves into Taurus. Very different vibe. So when you wake up on Thursday, things will feel different. And Saturn is grinding to its direct station on Thursday. So more and more intense Saturn themes. Early in the morning, the moon squares Mars. So you might also see this come through Wednesday night. Some frustration. Again, each planet, each celestial body gets a taste of the other. So that's the moon in Taurus getting a taste of Leo, wanting to be seen, but Mars in Leo also getting a taste of Taurus, which would be Mars's detriment. So it's a very like frustration and almost like a overboiling, except, or more like a powder keg. Some material pent-up energy that's solid. But right after that, the moon trines Venus. Again, you might see this a little bit more in your Wednesday night, late night. Otherwise, maybe you have nice dreams. Nice dreams about being a sexy secretary. Most Thursday is the moon applying to a sextile with Saturn. So you have an opportunity to get something done, make good on a commitment, do the heavy lifting. It's going to feel really intense. It might feel burdensome. You might just feel utterly called to just take care of something maybe you've been avoiding. Maybe you've been avoiding it since June. So Friday, Saturn stations direct. Most of these themes will fall into the Pisces part of your chart. And you doing the heavy lifting required of you in the Pisces part of your chart will end up informing your experience later of the North Node moving into Pisces next year. It's like your steadfastness in the Pisces part of your chart, which is a little bit counterintuitive when it comes to the archetype of Pisces, which is very changeable, could be rewarded and emphasized next year. So the full moon in Taurus technically goes exact on Friday morning. But Thursday night is the night of the full moon. And this full moon takes place closely conjoined, closely applying to Uranus in Taurus. So again, more powder keg energy, more the element of surprise. And it's going to happen in the Taurus part of your chart. And if you don't know how to read your own chart, I have a free course on how to read your own chart at voyage.earth. I keep saying I'm going to sunset it, but I have too many other things to do. So take advantage of the free course while it's still free. I might make it into like a little PDF or something. Full moon is also trine Pluto in Capricorn, and it's the final lunation taking place with Pluto in Capricorn. So our Capricorn season this year will be without a Pluto, which is interesting. Looking back on all the years since 2008. Anyway, on Thursday, there's a heaviness there's a great deal of energy being given to that heaviness into everything else. The moon is the activator of the zodiac. Friday morning in the wee hours, Saturn makes it its direct station. So now Saturn is no longer retrograde. We're moving forward again, checking in with the authorities, probably not being micromanaged, but there might be some doors closed or some doors that are hidden from you. Your ability to travel in between realms might be hindered by the fact that you have things you need to take care of in the real world. The first part of Friday is marked by the moon applying to that conjunction with Uranus. So definitely surprising, definitely a wake up early kind of day. Pay attention. After late afternoon, the moon is applying to a sextile with Uranus. So after whatever buildup you were feeling Friday morning, it might be smoothed out, anesthetized, romanticized, potentially obfuscated, marked by illusion. And late at night on Friday, the moon makes its last aspect with Pluto in Capricorn in our lifetime. Very interesting, very special. I love that it's a trine of the exalted moon with Pluto in Capricorn. That is the moon getting a little taste of Capricorn, its sign of detriment. But it denotes, at least for the part of your chart that is signified by Capricorn, being sent off to a potential happy ending, even though for the world at large, it's a little more complicated. What I'm saying is, for your life personally, for the Capricorn part of your chart and the Taurus part of your chart, they are singing together in a way that seems encouraging in terms of the resolution of the Pluto and Capricorn story, 2008 to 2024. Immediately after the moon moves into Gemini, so we're moving on. We're getting more busy. We're getting more chatty. We're getting more curious, less concerned with the material, with the care for our body. I'll also note that that was the last moon in Taurus for the next 2 decades that is not squaring Pluto. And I keep saying that the moon in something that Pluto in Aquarius heralds for us is a greater difficulty in achieving optimum health because the moon exalts in Taurus. So now, anytime the moon exalts in Taurus until 2044, it's squaring Pluto in Aquarius. It's squaring the technological revolution. It's squaring what the collective wants of you or what you want of the collective. It's squaring infrastructure. Is that clean water? Is that clean air? Is that you have to look at a screen, extract it from your blockchain wallet, get the haptic feedback before you get to eat an apple? So very special Taurus moon, Wednesday through Friday. Take advantage of it. Be fully aware. Engage your senses. Do something good for your body. Go get red light therapy and a cold plunge. Early morning Saturday, the moon makes a sextile with Mars in Leo. So that's fun, energetic. It will probably apply more to Friday night. So maybe Friday night is fun, although marked by a heaviness, marked by quality that feels like the end of time or the end of an era. But Saturday, with the moon sextiling Mars in Leo, it's very conducive to waking up early, getting your knowledge work done. Do your workout later. Do it in the afternoon. Or not. Do it now. Mars in Leo is very physically active. Or it could be like very stubbornly not. Most of Saturday is characterized by the sun making an opposition with Uranus. So the beginning of this cycle was back in May 12th, May 13th. Think about what happened around then that's now culminating, that's now the focus is shifting. This is the peak of that energy before it winds down and we start a new cycle next year in terms of how the element of surprise fits into your life, how things that are abstract come into being or come out of being in an unexpected way. The moon also squares Saturn on Saturday evening. So Saturday, although it starts out encouraging, energetic, it could end on a note of feeling bogged down. The day begins and ends with these lunar aspects. So the moon in Gemini, sextiling Mars in Leo, fun, energy. We get a whoosh of air into our fire. But at the end of the day, our water and air aren't really like quite as complementary. So there could be a heaviness or like a waterlogged feeling Saturday night. But it'll probably pass quickly. So late Saturday night, after the moon Saturn square, we just have the moon opposing Mercury early Sunday morning and the moon conjoining Jupiter also early Sunday morning. So late Saturday night if you can get through the heaviness of the late afternoon, evening, it picks back up again. The pace picks back up. The feeling of lightness is more available. And Sunday when you wake up, there might be more and more of that. Sunday when you wake up, some of that is still probably going to be lingering. The rest of Sunday is confusing, permeable, romantic, intoxicated, narcotic. The moon in Gemini squares Neptune in Pisces. Let me know what you do with that. Remember, your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.